Hi again, and welcome to our next quick little video. I've decided to keep them quick and short. I'm going to break this whole revision part up into a number of presentations, videos, and slides. I will put the slide presentation that I was showing today up onto Google as well. However, if you just subscribe to the YouTube channel that I've told you to, and you'll be able to get all the videos that I'm putting up there then. So what is the content in the study of visual arts? What is it exactly? All right, the content, the HSC content for study of visual arts in the HSC comprises of three areas. The first area is art making practice, which you have been involved with throughout the year. The next part is the agencies of the conceptual framework. And the third one is the frames, the four frames being the subjective, the structural, the cultural, and the postmodern. Practice is divided up into three areas: art making, art criticism, and art history. You guys have been involved in the art making process for the last term with your body of works. The doing or the activities or the actions that the artists make is what is known as art practice. Art criticism is the ability to outline and evaluate art, and art history is the knowledge of art in context of the time that it was made. So in red, we will do art practice. Blue will be art criticism, and in yellow will be art history. Art marking practice. Your art is based on your own personal or your own practical experiences. The art making practice, the practice of the component relates to both your practical experiences in the production of what we have done as your own body of works. It also recognises the approaches and intentions of artists that you have studied. The best example I can give of that is your case studies and other artists that you have looked at throughout your time with me in the last 3 years. Art making practice asks you to consider the following in the production of an artwork. This may include the treatment and the use of materials, the representation of thoughts, feelings, and experiences, stylistic innovations, the artist's intention and their philosophies, what they believe in, if you like, emerging technologies, personal symbols and signs, and of course your ideas and your concepts. Art making practice is about strategies. It is about gaining meanings and interpretations. Within every artwork, there are layers of meaning. An artist will hide or expose meaning in his or her own discretion. This highlights the importance of the relationship between the artwork and the audience. It also shows how artists orchestrate this relationship in their art making, both within your own art making and in the study of other artworks. You will become aware of how artists do different things, their strategies and their intentions. You will also become conscious of how you will build a knowledge of practice which will help you to understand how artists interpret the world. They do this through their own art making. Their interpretations are shaped through their technical resolution, how good they actually make their artwork, and their conceptual strength, the idea and their meaning. Art making, as you have well understood by now, is not just a result of artists just going about their everyday making art by themselves. Rather, it is the complex connections that are established between the artist and their worlds. Art making is a combination of these things, these factors. It is, like I said, a complex set of connections. where artists and historians and critics all come together and produce or make or influence artists and the art making that goes on in our world and what we have studied. When it comes to practice within the HSC written exam, you may be asked to investigate the artist's intentions and their approaches to the production of artworks. You will need to identify differing and investigative and insightful ways in which artists deliver things, their purposes and their methods of making and discussing the governing features which may affect the production of an artwork. To recap, you've got to understand that the aspects of artwork are the development and of ideas and concepts, the application of technologies, a response to the world and the events that envelop the artist, the innovation within the conventions of the media and the forms of representation that the artist uses, the acknowledging the different ways the audience will interpret and understand the artwork. You need to have, as an artist who involves themselves in practice, a good, strong development of personal signs and symbols that articulate the artist's interests and beliefs. There must be a development of a recognizable style, which has a strong treatment of subject matter and the selection of a particular genre. And lastly, it involves the evolution of the artist's philosophy for making artwork and a reflection of the artist's own beliefs and values. I know that was concise and quick. However, this is probably the better way for you to understand it. I will have left a short practice paper for you to answer, which is directly involved in art making practice, which I would like you to do as homework over the next couple of days. Everything regarding that is going to be done on Google Classroom, and I'll ask you to submit it that way, as it's the only way that I'm going to be able to collect any of your work. Okay, next one that we have up is art criticism. I will be talking to you about that in my next video. Okay, bye for now.